I have to read you this comment that I received on a YouTube video from Yellowbird5411. I'm watching people who are living in their cars, in tents or on the street. It is apparent that the word living is not something that can be geographically identified. Like a home. Do you live in your home? You would say yes. Are you there all the time? No. I work, exercise at the gym, go out and socialise with friends, and sometimes visit family for a weekend in the mountains. I also go to the store, the library, the local coffee shop, the beach, and I take a class at the local college. So it sounds like you are actually seldom there. That would be true. I often come in late and just brush my teeth and crash. I have to get up early for work. So you are actually not there more than you are there. Yes, that's correct. I'm probably there around 1/3 of the day just to sleep. I shower at the gym and grab food on the go. I keep a cooler in my car with ice, so I can have sandwiches, fruit and drinks when I'm going from one place to another. So you really don't live in your apartment after all. As much as you live at work, the gym, the beach, local food places, nightclubs, families, friends, home, etc. Yeah, so why am I paying $1,100 a month on rent plus utilities? That's a good question. The storage unit has come into its own as an adjunct to what is called homelessness. It has served as a place to keep your belongings safe, and whilst you are switching out supplies for your car or your tent, you can get out the hot/cold weather for an hour or two and grab a quick rest. I see videos of people who are living out of their cars often, with everything they own in them. For $200 a month, it is worth it to have a storage facility. Even if that means finding some extra money from somewhere to do so. A gig job would easily pay with a few hours work each month. It relieves the space in your car, allowing older or people with medical conditions to move around and sleep more easily whilst being homeless. Most storage facilities are air conditioned. Not sure about heating. I hope that the storage facility industry is building more of them to help the homeless have the extra space for what they need. This person isn't really living in his unit. He is sleeping there. There is a lot more living than just sleeping. We're finding that out, aren't we? Now Yellowbird5411 makes an excellent point. He explains how living in a storage unit wasn't necessarily living, but sleeping, resting, keeping your belongings there. He also concludes the fact that why do people pay for an apartment? I have an apartment. I'm in my apartment right now. But why am I paying for it? You could live in a van. People live in vans all the time. You can do your washing in a laundrette in a car park. You can use the gym for a shower, eat on the road, and work. So having bricks and mortar does question a lot of things. I understand why people want them, and personally, for my preference having a child, it makes sense. I don't want to raise my son on the road. Not just yet. It's nice for him to have his own bedroom and a roof over his head. That being said, can you truly define a roof over your head? I was told that my car was a roof over my head by the local council when I was 17. Is a tent a roof over your head? Is a car park a roof over your head? Seriously, why do people rent places? I understand owning. That makes total sense. And if you don't want to live there, you can rent it out and it pays the mortgage. So I don't have a question with that. But rent, you are essentially just throwing money away. Money that could be saved, it could be invested, and yes, sure, you might live in a van for a few years, but say your rent is £900 a month or $1,100 like Yellowbird5411 said. If you lived in a van for a few years, you could save up every single penny of that. You could invest it, plus the utilities and bills costs. You could put that in an index fund, you could put that in the stock market, you could just let that money grow, and it will buy you a house at the end of the day. I get a lot of questions about the fundamentals of living in a storage unit, and to be honest with you, that's going to be a video in itself. I'm going to go through a step-by-step guide on how to successfully live in a storage unit, because I think everyone should have the access to it. Whether you're homeless or you only need a place to sleep overnight whilst you work elsewhere, it makes a lot of sense. It's cheaper than a hotel, you can keep your belongings there, and they're insured as well. Why wouldn't you? Sure, it's illegal. You're welcome. A law kind of got started because of me in England. But that's not the point. Because you don't have to tell anyone. I did. I told the internet, and it blew up bigger than I ever expected. But it doesn't mean that you're going to do the same. Or you could record the videos, and when you leave you upload them after. Exactly like I did. No one knew I was there at the time. Would I recommend living in a storage unit though? Yes, if other people know. You don't know what's going to happen. There could be a fire in the storage unit. You could die in there. So yes, live in a storage unit if other people know, 100%. Because your safety matters at the end of the day. But if you don't have anyone, screw it, just do it, as Richard Branson says. Here's to living in a storage unit and recording a video at 7 minutes past midnight. Have a lovely day.
The end.